So, there are many organs which are involved in the digestion, or you can say they comprise the digestive system. All the organs are in the form of a continuous tube which is called alimentary canal. So, what is an alimentary canal? A tube like structure starting from mouth to anus. So, now let us do what are the parts of the digestive system. First part is mouth, then buccal cavity, then esophagus. This is also called in simple language food pipe. Then stomach, then small intestine, large intestine and anus. In addition to this, there are two glands associated, liver and pancreas. So, one by one we will take up all these parts and study what are the structural and functional details of these parts. So, first we will take up mouth. What is mouth? You will say this is mouth. So, what is this? A transverse slit. It is a transverse slit which is bound by lips. It is through this slit that mouth is put inside the body. The lips are covered by skin from outside, and from inside, do you feel something moist? That is because of mucus. It is bound by mucous membrane. Lips help in holding the food, and of course, they also help in speaking, but here we will not take that part. We are only concerned with digestion. Now, after mouth there was buccal cavity. Buccal cavity has many things. One is salivary glands. There are three pairs. One is below the tongue, one is below the jaw and one is below the ears. These three glands, they produce saliva. Then there are teeth, and then there is tongue. Now we will take up teeth. You remember you had some teeth and then a time came when you lost those teeth and everybody teased you. So, those teeth were, what were they called? Milk teeth. They are also called deciduous teeth. Why? Because they fall off. They are only 20 in number and then they are replaced by permanent teeth which are 32 in number. These teeth are arranged on two jaws, upper jaw and lower jaw. Each jaw has 4 types of teeth. First is incisors. They are flat, they help to bite, and total number is 2. Then there is canines, sharp, they are used to tear the food. They are not so well developed in human beings, but if you see the carnivorous animals like say lion or tiger, see how their canines are, because they have to tear the flesh, the meat. Then there are premolars. Canine is also 1. Premolars are flat, again broad and flat, and they help to grind, and they are also 2. And then molars, same structure, same function, but number is 3. Now you will say this makes only 8. This is 1/2 of one jaw. So whenever the dental formula is given, it is given like this, not of the full jaw. So 8 are on the right side, 8 on the left side of upper jaw, 8 on the right side and 8 on the left side of the lower jaw. But you know, everybody doesn't have 32 teeth. The last molar, commonly called wisdom tooth, generally appears much later. Some people never get it. You know, that is why it is called wisdom tooth. So from the functions of these teeth, you can clearly understand that main function of teeth is to break the food into small pieces. Now these small pieces get mixed with saliva that is produced by the salivary glands, and what we get is bolus. What is bolus? Small tiny balls of food. And what does tongue do? Tongue is basically a sense organ. It helps in tasting the food. It is a muscular organ. Not only muscular, it is also movable. Muscular, movable, and you know, it can be protruded out also. When doctor asks you to take out your tongue, you are able to, isn't it? Dogs often protrude their tongue. So tongue is muscular, movable and protrudable. Plus it helps to taste the food. The tip of the tongue helps to taste sweet. The sides are for salt and the back side is for bitter. And the upper part of the cavity is covered by a bony structure, hard structure, which is called palate. So this is about the buccal cavity. So what all happened in buccal cavity? Food was broken down with the help of saliva, changed into tiny balls. From here, where will it go? Let's see. Now what is next? Next part is pharynx. From the buccal cavity, food comes to the pharynx. But pharynx is a common passage for food and oxygen. Oxygen, which is in the air, will go to the windpipe, the trachea, and food has to go to food pipe. But what if the reverse happens? Sometimes when you are eating food, what do your mom or dad say? Don't eat, don't laugh. Sorry, not don't eat. Don't talk or don't laugh while eating. Why? Otherwise, food particles will go to trachea. And till that food particle comes out, you will have to cough because that is dangerous. So from pharynx, the food comes to the food pipe. But how does the entry of food prevented from entering the trachea? There is a cover on trachea called epiglottis. So when the food is being swallowed, the trachea gets covered by epiglottis so that food will not enter the trachea. But if we talk or laugh, then this epiglottis does not cover the trachea. Anyway, after this is closed, food will come to the oesophagus. Oesophagus is a straight tube that runs through our thorax and nothing happens in the oesophagus. Like we can say that actually the digestion starts in the buccal cavity. How it starts? Because saliva was mixed in the food, and you know saliva contains an enzyme called salivary amylase, which is also called ptyalin. This salivary amylase changes starch to maltose. So, the first step of digestion has started in mouth itself. But in the oesophagus there are no enzymes, it is just a passage, and this passage connects buccal cavity with stomach. But how does food move? Who pushes the food? You know, it's very interesting. Our body is, all body parts and the parts of the digestive system also, they show rhythmic movements. There is a regular rhythmic contraction and relaxation, and it is this movement of contraction and relaxation that pushes the food, and this is called peristalsis. So, because of this constant contraction and relaxation, the food reaches the stomach. Stomach is a J-shaped sac. It is muscular and its walls produce gastric juice. You know, the word gastric is always concerned with stomach. Now, this gastric juice has hydrochloric acid. What is the function of hydrochloric acid? You know, every reaction needs a certain medium, either acidic or basic. For salivary amylase, basic medium was required, which was provided in the mouth. Now, when food reaches stomach, the gastric juice requires acidic medium. But the salivary amylase needed basic medium. So, the food that reaches from mouth has basic medium. So, this hydrochloric acid makes medium acidic, so that gastric juice can act on food. Secondly, it kills germs. But what happens when we get acidity? You have heard about acidity, burning sensation here, so many ads of Eno and other antacids. Why is that caused? Because this hydrochloric acid is produced in excess. And why is it produced in excess? If your food is spicy, with oily, or if there is lot of stress in your life, then it causes acidity. So, we take an antacid like milk of magnesia or Eno, etc., and to neutralize it. Even if you take simple water, your acidity will be removed to a large extent. Second thing that is produced is gastric lipase. But this also is more active only in children, and it acts on fats. Third is renin. This is also only in children, and it helps to curdle the milk. In the infants, the milk stays in stomach for quite some time. You know, small children, if sometimes they puke, if what comes out is milk, mothers say milk was not digested. But if it comes in curdled form, that means renin has acted on it and milk has been digested. But this is only there, these two, among the infants and not among the adults. So, the basic function of stomach is to further grind the food and then let the gastric juice act on it, and these are the things that will happen. And this will turn the food into a semi-solid paste. You remember in the buccal cavity, they were in the form of balls. Now they have become a semi-solid paste. Which is called chyme. One thing very important to remember is that stomach lies like this in the body, transverse, not like this, longitudinal, but the esophagus opens at right angle to the stomach, and from stomach the next part is the small intestine, and here we move to the small intestine.